Well, hello. It's Friday. It's 9:22. I gave you a little 40-second epidemic undisturbed. It's one of my favorite. It's our royalty-free. I had to call it background music. It's just what we have going on in the studio along with Jimmy. So the latest news is, of course, the 80th anniversary of D-Day, when the U.S. troops stormed the beach, and I just wanted to put this fellow's face up. This is a World War II veteran, Robert Persichetti. Robert Persichetti. He dies at 102 while traveling to France. For the poor guy. 102. That's he looks pretty good, actually, for 102. Yeah, can you imagine? The thought that I could live another 20 years, 25 years. Wow. Anyway, hats off to World War II veteran Robert Persichetti. I think I have that pronounced right. Here's a little something. Longevity clues lies in your resting heart rate. I noticed that my resting heart rate is around 62. That's pretty good for Jimmy. So check your resting heart rate with my trusty Apple Watch, which you can't see. Let me add Jimmy over here on the right side. I stay on the right side as often as possible. In every possible way. Let me move my other arts and crafts over to the other side here. I need to turn that brightness down quite a bit. There we go. I think it's like taking over the studio. There we go. Raise that just a little bit. Yeah. Oh, bend that down a little bit. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Hello. Boop, boom, boop, 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 boop. Yep. That is KSM 8 Shure microphone. It is, in my opinion, one of the best dynamic microphones on the planet. It picks up every possible gesture of your vocal. Yeah. Breathing exercises are good. Any exercises are good, actually. So, on the news today, on TV channels, Wegovy. This is a Novo Nordisk. You see here, Novo Nordisk. Yeah. That is the company that makes Wegovy. It is semaglutide injection subcutaneous. Guess what I got over here? This is not Wegovy. I'm trying to get the doctor to get Marilyn on Wegovy. Wegovy is the same exact chemistry as in this guy right here. We can get that over a little closer. See, Novo Nordisk. Semaglutide injection. You get a pen and pencil. Pen looks like this. You've seen me. There you go. See, oops. Upside down, live television. There we go. See? Ozempic. See if I can get it to focus on Ozempic. It's hard to get it. Anyway, you get the point. It's a pen. There's the 4 millimeter needle, which is about 1/4 of an inch. 4 millimeters. They supply 4 needles. The needles screw onto the top of the pen. Just, excuse me. There we go. There we go. It unscrews. You just put it on here. It's got a threaded top and a threaded thingy. And you just screw it on. Like that. And then you turn this knob until that doodad says 1 instead of 0. 0 because it's empty. You see the plunger is all the way up. And then you stick it in yourself and push the button. And then the plunger gently squeezes in about 3/4 of a milliliter of the fluid that's in the pen. This is the way it's boxed. Here's 2 boxes. There we go. See, Ozempic. The lower box, the red one, is the 0.5 milligram. And then the top one is a 1 milligram. I'm taking... So I did this for a month. And now I'm on my 3rd month of this. This is how it's boxed. You've seen this, but just for those of you who haven't, you open it up like that, and then you open it up like that, and what's inside is the Ozempic pen, and this box. It's like full of surprises, huh? So we open that up. And what do we have? 4 needles. Just like I showed you. You screw it right on the pen. Yeah. So you got a full kit. I have a box of 100 needles, so I didn't really need these. There we go. We can put that right there like that. There you go. I tuck that puppy away. And then you you mark the box to say I took the 1st week, 2nd week, 3rd week. Yeah. I do it every Saturday. And it manages my blood sugar because I'm a diabetic, pre-diabetic patient. Is there a pen in here? Probably not. So that's my show and tell on that. Put that away. But it's to me, I love it because I don't need, let's get this guy up here. Look at that. That's my blood sugar right now. You can see it. There's a graph of the last, since 9 p.m., 8 p.m. last night. Every hour, you can see. And we're coming on to the 10 o'clock hour. Well, it's 9:30 right now. 9:32, according to our trusty little clock down there. Oh, I guess you can see it in the trusty clock up there. Yeah. Yeah. And it tells you because of the way, the rapid drop in my blood sugar, I'm going to hit the low. How low can you go? I'm going to hit the low in about 16 minutes. And then there's an alarm going to go off. And then I tell you how I fix that in case I get too low. I mean, this stuff really controls your blood sugar like unbelievable. I happen to have Ricola. You see that right there? Ricola. These little drops. You open it up, and I suck on it. It's a marvel something. It gives you a little aeration in your whole bronchioles, and it makes you feel good in your chest. So if my blood sugar gets, below 75, Ozempic keeps my blood sugar really quite good. I haven't had an insulin shot in, like 5 months. So it really, and you can see, let's go. Producers, go full screen on the, remember, this is a too bad for myself. Now, if we were to schedule all this out, over a 90-day period, your A1C would be 5.5, which is like, geez, that's an unbelievable number. And the next circle is 100% and the next circle, is we have 678 readings off my sensor in the back of my arm. So this thing just updated itself, and my blood sugar now is at 101. That's near perfect. Thank you very much. And if you don't mind, can we add, there we are, it's Jimmy on the right side of things. Yeah. May I have a sip? Mm-hmm. A little soda water. Anyway, the news is, I take these, as you probably know, I I clipped these pictures on here. You know, I went to Allegiance. You see these ads on TV, Allegiance flag, you know, made in America, seamstresses in America, and there's one of them. Yeah, there's a flag flying on the flagpole. There's another seamstress. She's, I don't know what she's doing. She's measuring. She's got some kind of a. I guess they make, you know, the stripes, the red and white stripes, all in one big roll, and then this device right here is like an electric cutter. It looks like, yeah, and she slides it right down there to cut it at the right, you know, and then they double stitch it and, you know, put a whatever you do to flags. Well, if you're going to fly them on a flagpole, you know, you need this band. You see Allegiance on there, and it clips on the top, clips it on the bottom, and you pull them in. We don't have a flagpole. We live in a almost high-rise building, 9 stories tall. We're on the 8th floor, so I've got a neighbor above me, and I've got a neighbor below me, and then another neighbor below that one, because we're on the 8th floor. So it goes 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So we have 7, 8, 9, 7. So there's 7, what do you call it? Residences. Residence. 7 levels, elevator levels. Then on the 2nd floor, it's the commercial level, where you have attorneys and, you know, people that have businesses, which the elevator shafts in the middle of the building, the residences can't get to the 2nd level. It goes from 3 to 1. It skips 2 altogether. There's not a button on there for 2. And anyway, it goes right down, to level 1. And level 1 is the lobby of the, you know, the building for the residences. And behind the lobby is or within the lobby, we have a security guard station where it's manned 24/7, which is nice. You know, I've gone down there 4 or 5 times over the last 12 years and seen somebody, you know, that's on the, you know, the night owl shift. Anyway, and then behind the guard desk, if you will, is our mailbox room, or mail room, where we all have a mail key, and you go in your mailbox, which I need to do today, right after I stop doing this, and go get my mail so that the mail doesn't get totally stuffed. Yeah. Because then the mailman complains. They wrap it up on a rubber band, they give it to the front desk, and then they give it to me when I get down there. They've done that. The prior mail lady and she would wrap up your mail and then put a red thing in there and say return to sender. Oh God. As if I don't exist anymore. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, I try to get my mail out of there before it gets. I do it like twice a week. But if, you know, someone sends a big catalog or something. They roll it up and they put it in there. It doesn't leave an awful lot of room for mail. So anyway, I thought I would, show off. These are items that are, everything's made in the USA. So you attach your flag to something like that, and these are anchors on the pole. You can buy a flag with a pole set, for $100 or something. I'm going to get us a nice flag from this company. One just like that. You see, all the stars are embroidered on there. They're not glued on there. They're not painted. They are embroidered. Even with the 16-inch by 2-foot flag, which I think I'm going to get that one for $50. GoAllegiance.com. That is the allegiance. It's not allegiance. It ALLEGIANCE. It is go. I have to think of what the. I don't think it's go. It's shop or something else. Oh darn it! Let's see if I can see it on my. Let's go here and do it. Oh, probably. Yeah, it's not going to show it on there. I'm sorry. Let me check. Let me check this one. I saw it on here. Bingo. There it is. Show. I knew it was a 4-letter word. Show Allegiance. ShowAllegiance.com. That is. See, I had it on this browser. I didn't have it on that browser. But you can't see it on here. But show, SHOW, allegiance.com. That is. That's how you get to their website. It's a nice, well organized website. I love this background music. I hope you do. When you're doing live streaming, which I am, and this is being covered with 3 social networks on a live basis simultaneously. And as you can see up top, 3 social networks: Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and the handle is, or whatever you call it, at the @ sign, FAU for you. FAU, the number 4, you. I got that really early, before the university people discovered the streaming. Oh, yeah. So I've been at FAU for you, for 20 years, because I've been teaching at FAU for 20 years. Principles of digital photography and post-image processing. Yeah. Dr. Harlan, he added that and post-image processing on the back end of that. Sounds very, very scientific. Principles of digital photography and post-image processing, which is what you do when you, let's see, do I have a, let's There we go, Photoshop Express right there. Well, that's Photoshop. Photoshop Express. That's it right there. You can see it. Principles of digital photography. So this is an image editing situation. It should be. Allow full access. There we go. Hey. There we go. Anyway, so Photoshop. I wrote a book, got it published. Pearson Education published it. I have a first edition and a second edition book. How about that? Whoop, there's Wagobi. Yeah. Semaglutide. Yep. Subcutaneous use. That means you inject it under your skin, into your fatty tissue, once a week. I do it. It's amazing. They had the if you're a blood sugar, if you're an A1C troubled person, as most, if not all, people that either take insulin or diabetic situation. I take it once a week on Saturday morning at about 10 a.m. But people, diabetics that are using Ozempic, Ozenpic, you've seen it on TV. The ancillary benefits of Ozempic, aside from managing your blood sugar in a very dramatic way, I love it. Ooh, my God almighty. Yeah, it works. So if you're a diabetic person, talk to your doctor about Ozempic. It's approved by Medicare. It's, there are tens of millions of patients that have or are using it. But the ancillary benefit of it is it helps prevent significant cardiovascular events like heart attacks and death. It's actually listed on there. It helps prevent death. Well, who doesn't want to take that? Well, another benefit is you gradually lose, your appetite, becomes, instead of, feeding your face as fast as you can, with whatever you like to eat as fast as you can, like a giant bowl of spaghetti or something, you basically self-regulate yourself. It's not designed for diet purposes, but your appetite just, let's call it suppresses somewhat. Your whole digestive system slows down and you don't eat as much. As simple as that. You just don't eat as much. I've had no adverse drug reactions. No ADRs for me. Everything is working right from top to bottom, so to speak. There's no gurgling, Yeah. Because with Ozempic, it's gradual. They give you 1/4 milligram dosages. Then they go to 1/2 milligram dosages in the first month. And then once you get through that, then you say, okay, doc, I'm ready for the 1 milligram. And they revise the prescription for 1 milligram doses. And the pens, the 4-week pen costs $1,200. That's the bad news. But, my Humana plan, the drug plan says you can spend, like $5,300 per drug. So, at $1,200 a box. This, I put it down here. It ought to have all this nice boxing stuff. It's very well packaged for $1,200. Holy mackerel! Well, that's what it costs. So my insurance, my copay was like $25, or let's say $50. So it's $1,250. I pay $50. Insurance company pays $1,200. Well, $1,200, when you get to your 5th pen, you've now hit that $5,000 limit on how much you can spend per drug. They need to raise that, and then I pay 20%. Well, 20% of $1,200 is $240. Yeah. So, but it's what it is. So, if you add it all up and do the math and divide by 12, it ends up costing you about $150 a month. But I'm not paying for any insulin, which that used to cost me $70 a month. So that $150 now looks like $80. And this blood sugar thing that's in the back of my arm, which I can see my blood sugar right on my watch. Wow, look at that. It's at 88. Let's just confirm that. We hit that. Look at it. There it is, 85. This says 88. Yeah, it updates, every minute or so. We see the graph on. It went. It was as high as. Let's look at this other app. Where is that little bugger? Let's try FREEST. Oh, it's there it is. Libre Link Up. So you can see it. Yeah, see, that says 85. So this app basically plugs right into is reading the thingy that you put in the back of your arm, underneath here. And it goes for 24. It goes for 14 days. This is, about at 8 o'clock tonight will be, 1 day, 13 days to go. But as I slide this, see, my blood sugar peaked at 9 o'clock this morning at 150 units, or 150 milligrams per deciliter. Yeah, it's 150. You want it at 100. Anywhere in the green zone. See, the green zone. It goes up and down and up and down. But with Ozempic, You see the top of this, I've trimmed it down a little bit. It's high of 170 and a low of 80. And then it sends an alarm if it goes under 80. See, and it says the low is predicted in 25 minutes. If the rate of decrease continues at the current rate in 25 minutes, it's going to get below 80. It's not the end of the world. See in the top left corner, right below 85 in the first circle, A1C is predicted to be 5.6. If the next 89 days is similar to this today, this past 20 hours or whatever it is, my A1C would come out at 5.6. Well, that's, I'm telling you, this Ozempic just keeps your blood sugar, it keeps it in the green zone. I don't know what it does, but it works. And it works, I shouldn't say similar to insulin. It just manages your blood sugar. And I can see my blood sugar on my watch. 86, that says 85. Okay. It takes a little bit of time for everything to sync up. There you go. See, this says 86, that says 85. You can't see 86 there, but it gives you a whole chart. The whole kit and caboodle. It's nice that I can see it on my watch now. It was, you had to do a few things because the Freestyle Libre application does not have a watch widget. You got to use the right vocabulary words. Yep, see, just updated 85. This still says 86. That's okay. But I like it that I can look at my watch. I don't have to wear my phone. I can just see my watch, and I can see what my blood sugar is. You can see the standard charts and the car has a number of buttons. Yep, 62 and a half. So that I can get it on my watch, because Abbott Laboratories has not given us a widget for either our screens. You see right here, you see in the very upper left corner, see where it says 85? That's my blood sugar. And it says 10 minutes ago. Now I can touch that. It brings up that. Yeah, forget it. Whoop, there we go. So 85. Yeah, whoops. It's so that's good. I mean, yeah, I'm very happy about that. It was 140. Now it's 85. Let's see what. No, this is the Abbott Laboratories. There you go, 85. They have a little slider on here so you can, look at. You see it. 10:05 p.m. There was no results because when you first started up, it just settles into your you got a little pricker thing that sticks in, to read. Instead of sticking your finger every, 3 I hate doing that. I won't do that. So this thing is, as much sticking as going to happen. But, and that's one time, every 2 weeks. And then what I do is I rest my arm for 2 weeks. Because, I know my blood sugar is going to be stable. I rest my arm for, a week or two, let's say. So when I get to have 1 week to go on this, I go to my app on my iPhone and order, it's prescribed, the Freestyle Libre 3, by the way. It's a prescription. Yes, it is. Let's go back to. So the other notable quotable is Trump. He's endorsing candidates in Iowa, Montana, New Jersey, and New Mexico. I guess so we can go. We got a story about that. Apparently, his candidates probably did well because the media is not talking about it. Yeah. So I'll have to go figure it out myself. We have the Hunter prosecution is expected to wrap up their case today. And then we'll go to the defense team to defend Hunter Biden. So the Hunter prosecution is expected to wrap it up today. The prosecution looks like is going to call an FBI chemist, a DEA expert, to deal with matters in this case, like the gun. It's all about Hunter. Oops, let's go back here a little bit. I circled. There it is, right there. This is the form. Okay, this is a portion of the form. This happens to be section in the when you buy a gun. They don't just hand you a gun over the counter. At least not in Florida, and not in. I don't know any state that permits that. But in Florida, they've got the 7-day cool-off period. So if you're really mad at somebody, they then want you to go run out and buy a gun and shoot them. Okay. If you already have a gun, they shouldn't have the 7-day thing. That's kind of stupid. But anyway, you fill out, a federal, your name, your address, your social security number, tax ID number, whatever. Well, when you get to question 21, It has A, B, C, D, E, F, goes down to N. And in this particular form, which I happen to have it right here in my hands, it's on screen, and it's, yes, no, yes, no. You just put X's or indicate, on the form. The form gets scanned if it's not electronic. The place where I had bought a gun or two, it's on it's almost like on an iPad, and, portrait mode. And the question, that Hunter Biden checked no, says, are you an unlawful user of marijuana or any depressant, stimulant, narcotic drug, or any other controlled substance? Okay. Use or possession of marijuana remains unlawful. And anyway, so are you an unlawful user of or addicted to? It says or addicted to. It doesn't say and. And you would normally you would check no to that, unless you are an unlawful user of. Anyway, so you answer these questions. Are you? Do you intend to sell or otherwise dispose of this form? No, I want it for my own use. Are you under indictment of? No. Have you ever been convicted of? No. Have you ever been discharged? No. Are you subject to any court order? No. Have you ever been convicted of anything? No. Are you an illegal alien? No. So, this question right in the middle there that I have circled in red. Are you an unlawful user of any controlled substance? Yes or no? He checked no. Well, he's got all kinds of testimony. He's got his own video. Oh man, I pop up on this cocaine, every 20 minutes. He was a terrible mess. Well, he checked no when he should have checked yes. Well, if you check yes, and then when you scan the form and the the ATF, ATFE, because that sounds explosive. The ATF computers look at this form and compare it to, their database and the answers to these questions. And if you check yes to that, or if you check no and you are using it, somehow they know about it because you're a felon or other than that, they reject your ability to buy the weapon. Or you fill out this form incorrectly, illegally, and check no when you should have checked yes, then in theory you could buy the weapon. Well, that's what happened in Hunter's case. He checked no when he should have checked yes. I saw the form, that's actually a prosecution exhibit, and there are no's all the way down there, except for one of these. Are you actually the transferee? And that would be a yes. In other words, you're the one getting the gun. Okay. So it's one yes, and it's a whole bunch of no's. Unless you're, an illegal user of, And that's what this whole case is about. He filled out the form illegally, and now he had a plea deal. 6 months ago, they went for broke, and the judge looked at this and said, "No, have you ever done anything like this before?" The defense said, "Well, not really." Anyway, the plea deal was rejected by the judge because they went for broke, and the judge wouldn't go along with the plea deal. It was outrageous. So the prosecution had to try the case because the plea deal was rejected by the court. The old court, they get in there and try to they call the balls and strikes, as they say. So now what's going to happen? Well, we don't know what's going to happen. But I don't think the defense, according to the legal experts, there is no defense. You filled out the form illegally. With all the evidence we've shown, you were totally a cokehead, among other things. And all those drugs are an unlawful user of. There's a very legalese term, but this thing's written in regular English. Are you an unlawful user of or addicted to? But it doesn't say and, so you don't have to worry about the definition of addicted. They started to play that game. Marijuana, depressant, stimulant, narcotic drug, or any other controlled substance. Yes or no? He checked no when he should have checked yes. Now, if you checked yes, he wouldn't have been able to buy the gun. Because if the computer would have kicked it back, the ATF would have kicked it back and says, nope, declined. Sorry, we can't sell you the gun. Because you checked yes. Well, he checked no. And now it's been discovered through his laptop, which is not Russian disinformation. It's a real laptop that he took into a computer store to have it fixed. And the guy fixed it. It was some kind of a Windows issue. And, it said on the form, you fill out forms, when you drop off a computer for repair. And in the fine print, and the guy tells you, if you don't pick it up in 90 days, I can dispose of it any way I see fit. And you no longer have possession of the computer because you didn't pay your bill and you didn't retrieve your computer. So I'll fix it and, you'll have it in about a week or so. You come and pick it up and you pay the repair bill, and then you take back your computer and we're done. But if you don't pick up your computer in 3 months, then you're history. Well, he fixed the computer, and he looked at some of the stuff that's in there, and he said, "Uh-oh, I better turn this over." So he turned it in. He turned it over to the FBI. They didn't come after it. He said, "Hey, look, I think this is the computer of the son of a U.S. senator or a vice president of the United States," or whatever he was, 2018, and the computer had all kinds of stuff on there that he didn't want any part of. Now, he made a copy of the drive, of the disk drive, just in case someone Mickey Moused. He had a backup in a vault. And he told the FBI, "I have a copy of this in my vault, just in case someone decides to, say that there's, in case you lose it, I can retrieve my copy and reproduce it to a court if necessary. Well, anyway, so this computer guy he knew this was explosive material, so to speak, because of the fact that he's the son of either a senator or a vice president, and now president, for God's sakes. All over this form right here. So he'd have a gun, and then his then wife, who since divorced him, threw the gun away. I mean, how stupid is that? Threw it in a trash can that's in front of near the front of a grocery store. It was in a bag, and wrapped it up, and she pushed it, down inside of a trash can. She didn't just drop it in. She pushed it down in there. And then every day when they empty the trash cans in the morning, it's like 5 a.m., the guy's rummaging through the trash because he's picking out, cans for recycling. I don't know if he's a homeless guy or what, but he feels this heavy thing, and he takes that up, and he says, "Oh shit! Oh crap! It's a gun." So he immediately turns that into the local police department. The local police department gives that to the FBI because it's a gun. The hell. Local police department doesn't want guns laying around. And the FBI tests the gun and examines the gun. Turns out it's the same serial number as that's on this form. It's Hunter's gun. Because the serial number's on this form up on the top. The model number, the serial number, the gun, the 38 Special is a revolver, looked like a Colt. I have one similar to that in my little collection of guns. Yep. So that's what's all over the news. And Trump he's running around, he's campaigning, and he's got you can see his son in the background taking a picture of his father with his, I'm in good shape thing. I'm hoping the Supreme Court to stop really they're going to arrest this guy, and the judge is so incensed he's going to put him in jail. He's got a gag order on him. That just shouldn't stand. These two legal experts down here in this corner, they say no. This is he's tried in New York City with a New York jury. The judge's instructions and the way he handled the case, there's no way they couldn't convict him because there was no way out. He says, you can, and paying Stormy Daniels, by the way. So he allowed all the Stormy Daniels, he brought her in and she went on and on about, sitting on the bed and salacious stuff. That's nothing to do. The case had to do with falsifying company records, in order to sway an election, which is baloney. He hired this guy Cohen, who's to handle stuff, not legal stuff like reviewing purchase contracts for golf courses. He was hired to handle annoyance claims, because he's a multi-billionaire before he was the president, and he was a celebrity because he had a #1 show on, I think it was NBC, called The Apprentice, for 14 years. You know, that's a lot of time. 14 years. He has this show, you know, where he's got celebrities, you know, trying to win The Apprentice, you know, to be an apprentice, to sit, you know, in his boardroom, so to speak, to decide, you know, what goes on in the Trump organization. So you go into, if you win The Apprentice, you come, you know, as a 1-year guest into our, you know, executive suite, and you can see all kinds of stuff that we do. Well, for 14 years, that show, you know, so every week, you know, they would have different board of directors interrogating this, you know, whoever the celebrity apprentice was that was trying to get in the Trump organization, so to speak. I think I watched a half of a couple of episodes. You know, I didn't, you know, it was just, I'd rather watch Fox News. But he was a celebrity because of that. Because a lot of people, it was the most popular, you know, TV show at 8 p.m. or whatever the time slot was. The ULA and Boeing finally launched this capsule thing. See the thing, the very tip of that. It was, you know, the missions, you know, are scrubbed 3 or 4 times. It's 2 years late. $1 billion cost overruns. Billion. Phew. Big number. Well, it finally took off, and they should be docking with the, you know, the space station. I think today. Or maybe it already has. Not real up to date on that, but it had a successful, you know, blast off a couple of days ago. I think it's already connected to the space station. Yep. I haven't seen any disaster news. That usually comes out pretty fast. There's a geese. Or a goose. Geeses? Goose? It's a goose. And Mama Goose laid eggs in my daughter's flower pot that's on a dock. You see the water in the background? What's the wavy water in the background up top? Because she had it on live view. Oh, I can't. Yeah. Anyway, so on her dock, a goose laid eggs. And this is around the 30-day mark when they're supposed to hatch. So Mr. Goose isn't sitting on them because they're sunbathing. And it's, you know, there's like dirt. There used to be a plant in there. It looks like it's starting to grow. Whatever kind of plant it is. If she was, you know, you cut it there and there, get rid of the twiggy part, so the geese or goose doesn't pull it out of the ground. But anyway, those eggs are supposed to hatch soon. And since my daughter hasn't screamed over to me like, oh my God. Marco Rubio is in the one of the top 3 contenders to be Trump's vice presidential pick for his campaign, running for, you know, I think he'd be a good pick. I wasn't too enamored with Scott from Carolina. because it was like pulling the black card. Really, the black people are fine with him. And if you had a black VP, I don't know. That's like, because there's 8% color. I think a Jamaican father or something or other. Jamaican me crazy for our current vice president. But this guy would be good, Rubio, because you've got Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, you got Nevada, you have New Mexico. You've got a lot of Spanish-speaking people in other states, including, Pennsylvania and so forth. So you can pick up 10, 20, 30,000 people, that speak Latin. This guy's fluent. He's actually a what do you call it? Cuban. His parents fled to the United States when he was. I think he was actually born in the United States. So they fled, Cuba, and then gave birth to Marco. So he's a naturalized citizen. So he can be a president because he was born here. But he went through the whole, alien process. And his parents, applied for citizenship, and they, properly. They didn't jump the border and, like what's going on now. Anyway, so Rubio, and he's fluent in Spanish, obviously, or incidentally. And he can, I've seen him, he can speak Spanish and English fluently, very fluently. If you listen to his English, you knew English was another language of his, but you wouldn't call it, a second language. It's the first language. And he went, to American schools, kindergarten through, college, got a law degree, aspired to, being a U.S. Senator. He's one of Florida's 2 U.S. senators, and he speaks. So I think he would help, and he could be president. He serves. He's on the Armed Services Committee, the Armed Services Committee. Get my mouth going here. So he's he's an all-around good. That's probably, what is that alarm? Let's see. My blood sugar went below 80. And I have an alarm at 80. So it's at 79. I love that. That's good. You don't want it to get to like 60 or 50, because then you start to pass out. On the blood sugar Richter scale. That's amazing. I just got these several apps because, there it is. It says 79 right on my watch. Steady at 79. That's good. If it gets below 70, then I have my pocket. I've got, it's like I have in my left pocket, I have my inhaler, which I don't need at the moment, with albuterol in it. There's albuterol. You can see. Oh, it's not focusing. But anyway, if it's in there and you open up this and you take a little squirt, if I, feel, what do you call it? When you get to be crowding 80, all kinds of stuff. And to manage my blood sugar, I have I have some of these in my pocket. So, but as cool as that, I can see my blood sugar in my watch. For the first time, I got it working. But you got to get this 2 apps. This one app. I'm trying to figure out what it's called. Oh, Glue. Gluroo. 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 App. Okay. And that, you sync that up with your Freestyle Libre, and then copy a link from that, and then you go to this app. Preferences. Nope. So, let's come into my phone here. You see this long, look at all that. Well, you see you copied that from the one app and you put it in this app, and this is what communicates because it has a widget for your watch. And that's how I can see it in my watch. It's because of those 2 apps. Because Freestyle Libre has not provided a widget, for people to use in Apple Watches and iPhones. I mean, I can see, you see right here, I mean, there it is. There's Freestyle Libre. See, Libre link up. That's how I know my blood sugar is 79, but I can see it on my watch. And this other app, I can see it. See right there, 79. That top left corner, which you can see. Very nice. But anyway, so see there it is right on the, what do you call it? Widgets. We're very widget oriented around our society these days. Anyway, so it'd be interesting to see if Trump, I wish Trump would just, they send out signals, is he going to wait until, the end of June or the actual convention to name his VP? I'd do it right now so that you can dispatch him to these these states that have a voluminous number of Latin-speaking folks. And, just pick him. He's not running for office yet, but he could be floating around the country giving speeches, while Trump is, busy with his legal schmeagle stuff. And, because this judge could put him in jail, for God's sakes. And, of course, Rubio would be outraged if he was actually the vice presidential pick. The Supreme Court needs to get in there and just put a stay on this. Because this is ridiculous. They can't touch him once he gets elected, I don't think. But the Supreme Court can't allow this to happen because this is election interference of the highest order. What the heck? The guy's running for office for the United States of America. He's a former president, for Pete's sake. I mean, these Democrats stoop to no, oh, God, it's crazy. And now, because Numbnuts here, the son and his attorneys went totally overboard in giving him, he was gonna plead, no jail time, whatever, and 1 year probation, and they didn't have that in there. They had, I am exonerated forever, and that's on and on. I don't know the bill of particulars, but apparently it was so crazy that the judge says, no, that's not a, and he asks the, and these attorneys are very experienced constitutional attorneys. I say, really? Is this, have you ever done one like this before in your entire career? Well, not really. And so she started looking at it, and she said, no, this is, number one, it's not signed by anybody. And number two, I'm not accepting it, even if it was signed. So, out of here. The plea negotiations are over. And so eventually it got set for trial, and they're in trial right now. My watch, my iPhone just said, critical alert, you're at 79. I need to set that lower, because otherwise I'm going to get critical alerts up my kazoo. And I can set the critical. All I have to do is go in here and figure out what preferences. I'm on preferences. Where's the, oh no, it's alarms. Here we go. I need to set that to 70. Yeah. I need to set the high one. Set that to 200. There we go. That's it. That should be the end of the alarm business. Yeah, 70 and 195. So if my blood sugar keeps crashing at the same rate, in 19 minutes it's going to do it again. I've rarely been below 70, but it's at 78 right now, according to that, and my watch says 79. I'm behind 1 minute. It even shows there's a delay of 1 minute. I mean, these apps are like, they're so amazing. It was epic. And the apps, I can see it on my watch now, and that's pretty cool. So if you don't have your phone with you, I can always look at my watch. I mean, how cool is that? That is very cool. Yeah. It's amazing. But it took me, a couple hours to figure out how to do it. I actually went on YouTube and said, how do I get my blood sugar to show up on my Apple Watch? And they had this guy, and he went through it, over and over. He was like fast speaking, like he was being charged by the minute. And, gee, crazy. But, so I had to play it over and over and over again. And I paused it. Right when he said, then I would go get the GLU. You see right there? That picture of that animal face there. So you have to get that app. And then you have to get this other app. Yeah. This app that is like night something. Let's see if I can see it here. Night Guard. I see the word right there. Night Guard. Yep. That's what you need. So Night Guard is this display. And this is how I get it. Because Night Guard has a widget that I can use on my watch. So, but you got to get Guru first, because Guru transmits to Night Guard, and Night Guard transmits to my watch. It's all like, within a minute or so. So, I mean, it's not like, pricking your finger and getting a reading right away. It takes a minute or so for it to go through all these layers of complications. That's what it is. It's a complication. That's what the watch calls it. If you want to add that complication to your watch, which makes your watch a little more complicated than normal. So, I can touch this right here, and I can see the same graph as that we just saw on here. It's the same graph. You can see it peaking, and yeah, that's 78. Very cool indeed. Go back to my watch, 10:22. So I put that in there instead of the date, because it's June 7, Friday morning. It's 10:42. Now I'm about ready to have a little, see here, critical low. There we go. See, I can see it everywhere. Because all these things are connected. All right. I've been yakking here for, according to this, 1 hour and 21 minutes. So we're going to stop. And I may have an episode over the weekend. I do that like every other weekend. I'll see if I can find a time when Marilyn is, she's off over the weekend, so works in the bank. And I don't want to interfere with time with her. So if she wants to go to breakfast, we'll go to breakfast. If she doesn't want to go to breakfast, then I may do this. Close my little den doors here like they are now, even though there's no one here except for us. My Epidemic Sound instrumental is royalty free. Yes, it is. And it goes on for 3 hours. So I haven't talked for 3 hours. I've talked for 2 hours and 40 minutes one time. I try to keep it under an hour and a half. Somewhere between an hour and a half. I usually get off and talking about something like I just talked about, this guru in my watch and the blood sugar coming into my watch. If my friends up in Milwaukee or wherever have a blood sugar issue and you have an Apple Watch, it can be done. I've done it. Now that I've done it, I know how to do it. And I can speak slower so that it's really not hard to do. You just have to know what to do and how to do it. And I think the guy that had the YouTube video, who really gave, he really got me on with his video. I could see what apps I had to go get on the App Store. That you got to do first. And then you can, go from this app right here, the Libre link up. So the email address and the password are used for that. You need to have that because when you open up the Guru app, it wants to know what that sign-in is, the email address and your password, so that you can then Guru is essentially capable of seeing your readings, and then you copy and paste. So then you copy a link, which is this long, and you paste that into the other app. And that's the one with the widget that you can see on your watch. I mean, that's the goal. Well, why are we doing all this? So we can, I can see what my blood sugar is with this app right here. And I can also see it with this app. But this app has a widget for my watch. And that's the goal, is so I can see it on the watch. And so there it is, 78. I can see it on my watch. That didn't work. That worked. So now I just took a picture. Recent. Come on, baby. The watch face should come up. Favorites and recents. Is it anywhere? There it is. I can see once it comes in here. There it is. Now you can see it. So this is my watch face. I just did if I press these two buttons together, there you go. You heard that click. That's like if you took a picture with a camera. There's that little audio. So there it is. There's the second one. I took two of them. Blood sugar's at 83. Or no, that 83 is my battery level in the watch. I can touch that and it expands into that. I can see my battery. Oops. You see the third one coming up. Let's get back to there. Yeah. Anyway, so these three readings in here. 3 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, 1 minute ago is at 78. That's what this whole mission was about. So I could see my blood sugar, whether it's going up, going down. It's I would call that stable. That's 70. It's 78. I can go to this right here. There you go. See 78. That's pretty current. See how the slope, you see this curve, the slope down, and so it's right at, in the high 70s, which is super fine for a diabetic person. So now I'm ready to go stuff some mac and cheese in my face. Oh, the cheese, the bag of cheese sauce when you make mac and cheese, the deluxe version of mac and cheese. So you boil up the macaroni, and then you drain it, and then you put the cheese sauce on and mix it around. You got mac and cheese. Well, I had miniature bow ties. I had 2 boxes of them, and I had an extra 2 bags of that cheese sauce. So I made that up. So I got, a nice big bin of the bow ties with the mac and cheese sauce on it. So I have a cup, fill the cup up, and spray a little water on it just to, so soften up those macaronis. Put it in the microwave for, a minute and a half, 90 seconds. And then I have a little mac and cheese for, late breakfast. I'm done here. So you all have a great day. Bye-bye. See you Monday for sure.